All right, good evening. We'll open the meeting for the Pownal Elementary School District for Wednesday, December 21st. We'll begin on, first thing on the agenda is the Pledge of Allegiance, so let's stand. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, so we have no presentation. Is there any public comment?
Hi.
Okay, hi Bill, welcome. Seeing no public comment, we'll go right to our action items. Financial, the treasurer's report for October and November is enclosed. Is there any
So moved.
discussion?
Second.
Motion been made and second. Any discussion on either one of them? If not, I have a motion to, all in favor? It's unanimous. Okay, the second thing is the request for a pay increase for our treasurer in 2018 budget. That is enclosed in your, did everyone see that? Okay. And we'll have a
I have a question, I think, for the superintendent.
pertaining.
Renee wouldn't give me a straight answer. The other boards, how much are they paying the treasurer? Is our treasurer's salary
Yeah,
in line, Jim, with other school districts?
You're not being prepared for that question.
Yeah.
I don't know what your treasurer, I know that
Yeah.
they're all different. They all
They are
range
different.
different, yeah, so.
And I can actually answer that for
Yeah.
you, Jim. Each district is different in size. We've had this treasurer for many years. We pay her, and she's always been pleased with her pay. She's also the town treasurer, so it's like a two-in-one job for the town and the school.
Mhm.
And we've always paid her this way. Now, she's asking for a $250 increase. Do I have a motion to do that?
So moved. Second.
Okay, is a motion made and second. Is there any discussion on that?
Yes, there is. I'll vote for it, but I would still like to know what everybody else makes. Maybe we're not paying her enough, we don't know.
Yeah, did you request that from Renee, that you asked?
I was, no, I was
It's
just,
public record, I could have her compile that, but I don't know that off the top of
because
my
we're
head. what all
going
that
blind
makes.
here. We don't know if it's.
No, we're not, I don't want to argue about it, but you know what?
Well, no, that's where we're
It's
discussing
apple, you
it.
gotta do apples with apples, okay?
And we don't know what the apples are.
Well, but the thing is,
Well, I don't think $250 is gonna throw the apple cart off.
No.
No, I'm just saying, but we're just,
it's not.
I mean.
For the amount of work that she does for Pownal,
I'm not-
she's never complained about it, she's never said that's not enough. Within a year or two, we don't give her a raise every year. We do try to give her something like every other year. And maybe one year we gave it to her twice in 2 years in a row. But we've never had any complaints.
I don't think, you didn't do this last year, you did not do an increase last year.
And last year, no,
No.
because we don't always go, and she doesn't always ask. And I think it's been, I don't want to upset the apple cart.
All
right.
those in favor?
All those in favor?
Well, we, no,
We vote.
I want to discuss it some more. I really do.
Okay.
I don't want to be, I don't want to,
Okay.
right. I think we should find out,
And Jim said he was going to let you know.
okay. And I like that on next month's agenda, that we discuss it one more time.
All right.
Not that we're going to change it, but we have a responsibility to everybody. I know it's only $250, okay? But we don't know if that's a good pay or a bad
We
pay.
do have responsibility to the taxpayers.
Yeah.
So, but you're just, it's Christmas and I know you want to give the tree away, but you can't. And I don't want to upset the apple cart.
I'm not,
So I will make sure that I'm gonna put in the task list for next month, that we will have a report of what treasures we're making.
with the normal.
Okay.
It really does vary, I mean, you might, if anything, you
Yeah,
might wanna look at
don't discuss it.
Shaftesbury more than anybody, because you're equal, kind of a same-sized
Yes, we
school,
are.
but,
We are.
I
and
think,
budget-wise, but certainly
does
not.
Shaftesbury Board pay their treasurer separately? I think not.
Yeah, they do. yeah.
I asked somebody in Shaftesbury and they said it's, the town just pays and we don't pay her. I don't know, so I like to know the answer to those questions.
Okay, we'll get it for next month. All right, all those in favor of giving our treasurer an increase of $250, please signify by raising your hand. All right, it's unanimous. All right, next thing on the agenda, we have the consent agenda. Is there a
So
motion?
moved.
You have a second? All right, motion been made and second. Is there any discussion on the consent agenda? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by raising your hand. It's unanimous. All right, moving right along. We have policies. Policy 1020, visits to school. And this one is to adopt. We
So
have-
moved.
all right, motion, do I have a second?
Second.
Motion been made and seconded. Is there any discussion on 1020, visits to school? All right, hearing none, all those in favor of adopting this policy? It's unanimous. All right, the next one is 4003, bully prevention,
So moved.
adults. And this one is to warn.
Second.
Motion been made and seconded. Any discussion on this 4003?
I'm gonna vote against it, as I've been doing.
Okay, if there's no discussion, all those in favor? Opposed? Oh, Jim,
Yes.
You're opposed.
you're opposed, okay. You put your hand up twice. Okay.
Twice vote.
But you're opposed.
I'm opposed,
I got it,
I'm
okay.
opposed.
One opposed. All right, the third one is 5005, reporting of child and vulnerable adult abuse, and sexual violence. Again, this one is to warn.
So moved.
Second.
Okay, motion's been made and second. Is there any discussion on 5005? All right, seeing none, all those in favor signify by raising your hand. This is to warn. And the last one, again, to warn, is 6400, optimum class size.
So moved.
Yes.
Second.
Motion's been made and seconded. Any
Like this.
discussion?
I like discussion. The whole state, including Pownal, the budgets are driven by, it's a nebulous concept of class size, and even in this policy, it's not, they don't say it's 12 or 50, you know, it's, I think this is dribbling down some sort of mandate to do this.
Yes.
Okay, so, that being said, and it does nothing, I really, really think we need to have a serious discussion in the state of Vermont, which has the smallest class size in the country, okay? And that's by how they define it, and it's even worse than that. It's not even worse than that. It's fine, it's great for the kids. My grandkids are here and the small classes are great. But, I think we need to have a more, that this district or supervisory union should have a more serious conversation, a realistic conversation. You know, this is gonna get passed because we're being mandated to pass it, but we should talk more frequently about class size.
Can I ask you, are you referring to more children in the classroom or less? What is your preference?
This doesn't give a number.
Yes, it does. It
No.
says,
Well,
well, it kinda does. It
It
says from
kinda
K to
does.
3 is less than 20. So that means that they can't have any more than 20 kids per class. And I think that's reasonable.
can I just say, Jim, because I attended some of these meetings, as Angie did, like in years
Many,
past,
many years.
And they've been fighting over this class size thing for years.
Years.
Literally for
Yeah, I
years.
know.
Yeah, that's what they said. So nobody can come to a good agreement on a number. And the fight is between, do we actually put a number in this policy that's required?
Sure.
Or, right, do we kind of make it a vague policy? So the issue is making it vague now and maybe, you know, consolidating it a little bit in regulations, like, you know, so if we're gonna talk about it again, I'd be happy to let you know when the policy meeting
No,
comes
I've
up, because
listened
there's
to
a
it.
huge,
I've listened to the couple of tapes.
yeah, it's a huge debate.
But maybe they don't want to narrow it down to a specific
Right.
number because, you know, they need a
There's a
little
school of
leeway.
thought on that,
There's
definitely,
a lot
yeah.
of leeway. We have, well,
Absolutely.
for Vermont, the state of Vermont has a lot of leeway on class size. That's all, I just want to just mention that.
Okay, so do we vote on that? All in favor of warning 6400? Okay, we're all in favor, okay. Facilities update. Do we have
I
facilities?
don't think we had anything to update from last month.
Nothing? No problems, everything's,
Weren't we gonna ask about
The furnace? Is he supposed to get back to us?
He was supposed to get back to us on the Alliance Mechanical contract.
Right.
But he's still working on
Okay.
it. And that'll be for budget time.
All right.
Yeah, okay,
Thank
good.
you.
All right. Now we're down to the superintendent's report.
Good evening.
Good evening.
So sometimes it's best to let sleeping dogs lie, but I want to talk about snow days. It's one of those things that a superintendent can't win on, it's whatever decision I make, there's going to be somebody who agrees with it and somebody who doesn't. So I'd like to explain, publicly how I make those decisions in the morning or the night before. And we this time of year, we live with weather reports and try to see what may happen. What people should understand is I have to make that call by about 5 o'clock in the morning. And it's often difficult to, is it going to clear up by 5? Will the road crews be able to get caught up by 5? Can maintenance staff get the school cleaned out by 5? By the time school starts, when I'm making that decision by 5 in the morning. And as you know, in our calendar, we have 5 snow days. We've already used 2 of them in December. So I try to be very tight about using those because I'm mindful of what happens at the end of the year, but also try to be mindful of our students' safety. I've driven the bus routes in Pownal, so I know, with Dufour, I did last year go out for a ride because they wanted, and it was a great eye-opener for me. They wanted me to see what the routes in North Pownal looked like. Beautiful scenery. Not too sure I'd want to be the bus driver on some of those routes on an icy morning. I also did Shaftesbury Hollow because I was in this diverse district. I was really kind of making my decisions on what Woodford looked like in the morning, because of the higher elevation.
Right.
And I had my eyes open for what North Pownal and Shaftesbury Hollow can be, and what's happening in Bennington is not necessarily what's happening everywhere else. So looking at all of that, then I still have to make that decision. Try not to use a day unless we absolutely have to. My own personal belief is that a delay day is not always the best educational day. And, so I tend to use those sparingly over my career to call a delay. Temperatures. So I had sent out an email to the principals the night before when it looked like we were going to just this week. Was that this week? Friday? Last Friday? Thank you. That we're faced with the potential for really cold temperatures. There are some of the questions I'm asked is there a guideline from the state for what temperature is too cold to send people out? The answer is no. The Vermont Principal Association allows outside sport activities up to 35 below, so then you got to cut that off there. So that's the only guideline that I'm aware of. So I came real close to calling either a delay or a no school day last Friday because of the temperature, and I solicited opinions from all the principals. And my concern about that is with only 5 days in the calendar, if I start calling school for real cold temperatures, we're gonna run into a problem with that. Though I still struggled with it because it was luckily the morning temperatures were not as cold as predicted.
And the wind chill.
And the wind chill, because of the wind chill, it wasn't as bad. And I actually wrote out a grid. I go onto all the websites and weather sites, and I write all the towns down. And so on that particular morning, I looked at what the predicted temperatures were for 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. And why I felt the delay wasn't going to work, because on that grid, I saw a 3-degree improvement on average between 5 in the morning and 9 in the morning. So a delay wasn't going to do anything other than maybe the sun would be up.
Yeah.
So we went with school, and I hope in that case, it seemed to be the right call, because as Todd said, the wind chill wasn't as bad as predicted. So what I will say to parents and say to the board that, it is the parent call. If they think that it is not safe, that I've made the wrong call, it's not safe, and they need to keep their child at home, then that is their you know, their right to do so, though I would caution that, you know, we also want our children in school learning and engaging. So, just a little explanation of what I'm doing in the morning and who you know, I'm talking to other superintendents and road crews and things, police departments. And when I say talking, it's usually in emails or texts, but, you know, starting sometimes as early as 4:30 in the morning to see what that's gonna be, so.
We at one point had a superintendent who lived in Alaska. So needless to say, that year was quite unique when he didn't call school off. He said, oh no, this is very nice, there's, you know, he's used to.
So I did know that you used to have one from Alaska because, 2 years ago when someone felt that I made the wrong call, I got an email from them telling me that I should go back to Alaska where I came from. So,
Okay, had you mixed up.
yeah, so.
But we, a lot of times, I don't know, my personal feeling is if it's really bad, a delay is better than leaving the kids home all day.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So they miss a couple hours. in the
As long as it
morning,
looks like it's going to improve enough that it'll make a difference,
Right.
yeah. And actually, what I left out is they also, you know, I talked with the bus companies, and that's really where I make my final decision, final call. And if they feel they can run their buses, then we're gonna roll. And if they, you know, if they don't think it's safe to
Yeah.
do that, then I will consider that when making my decision too, so.
Well, I
'cause-
think it's important that you did explain, you know, because
Yeah.
the parents, they don't always know how, they think you just get up and you have no
Look out the
contact with the
windows,
outside
yeah,
world.
yeah.
Yes, you look out the
Yeah.
window and say, oh yeah, it looks like snow.
If-
But I do know you know, from past experience that they do, you know, you have to touch base with probably all the road
Yeah,
foremans
yeah.
that are,
And it can create anxiety in the morning as
Um,
we're both
oh,
doing
I'm
it in our
sure,
districts,
yeah,
yeah. So,
yeah.
interesting conversation. So that, I just wanted to
special quality time.
yeah, let you know how that goes. The other things I wanted to mention, and you might have reports from your own members, the next Act 46 committee meeting, the exploratory committee, is slated for January 12th at the CDC at 6 p.m. And we will have the latest draft of articles of agreement based on suggested change from last time. And I have to tell you, I don't know if we're gonna have another meeting after that 12th, you know, getting the conversations I'm hearing. I think a lot of looking, Bill, to see what the state's gonna do, what the governor's gonna do, and maybe we should hold off. You know, we don't know who the Secretary of Education is going to be yet, unless you have some announcement for us now. And, yeah, it feels stalled to me, right?
I missed the last one, but from what I heard from Jim, I was upset because I think we're going off in many directions instead of zeroing in on, let's see what we've got, we're already doing.
Yeah.
Let's keep the things together, or even talk about what the main part is, keeping the board, like MAU, or even like the SVSU.
Yeah.
Because if it doesn't go in that direction, there's gonna be a lot of
Well,
problems.
and that's important, I mean, depending what town you're from, how you feel the makeup of that board is,
Of
it
course.
varies. And
Of
so
course.
reaching a consensus is gonna be difficult, and I'm getting a sense that there are people who now feel that we should just wait and see what happens with the state, because but I think we should continue to move forward with drafting these articles of agreement, so we have something that we could design, and then we could price that out.
Do we have
and get
enough
the-
time to wait to see what the governor's gonna do?
Not if you want any of the incentives, you don't, no.
Well, no, to me, the incentives that's nothing.
Yeah.
They're dangling a little candy cane out there, you know,
Yeah.
no, I'm not.
But I wouldn't be
Doesn't take
doing
a
my
rocket.
job if I didn't at least warn
Right.
people that
Exactly,
that's there.
Exactly, no, the incentive is not worth it.
No, it's not,
It's petty, I'm sorry.
it would help within transition, but it wouldn't help
It
going
wouldn't.
beyond.
No.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And we do have, as you know, ongoing teacher negotiations and support staff negotiations. And on the last snow day, that impacted negotiations because the ground rules say if school is canceled, then negotiate.
Yeah.
So the second teacher negotiation, which would have been the final meeting to bring forward proposals got postponed, so that meeting's also in early January, and that'll be the last time the proposals, and they are doing this, as you know, in public, so both sides' proposals should be out there by the next meeting.
week, yes.
And we'll see just how much ground we need to make up to get to a common agreement, but we got a lot of work ahead on that, and also in the support staff, as you know.
Oh, yes,
Yeah.
yes, a lot of work.
Yeah. And we're meeting this Thursday of next week, the teacher negotiating team, to finalize our proposal for presentation at the next joint with the teachers meeting. So. And that's that, and it's budget time of year, going to a lot of budget meetings. to get one
Yes.
out, so.
Yes.
But I think we're making progress, I think we have to meet our deadlines on that, but it's just that, it's the time, it's crunch time.
Yeah, on top of everything else.
Okay.
All right, thank you. And I appreciate you sharing with the public about the snow days, and that's important. All right, principals report.
So just wanted to mention a couple things. First of all, we have had our end of trimester parent-teacher conferences, the December 8th and 9th, those half days, and they're not just those half days. I mean, our teachers here are meeting with parents after school multiple days, and but they are really well attended here, and want to thank the parents for being supportive for those conferences, and the teachers being flexible with those family hours. Because again, it's not just those 2 afternoons. They schedule throughout the week at varying times to accommodate those parent schedules. So I want to thank both the teachers and parents for a successful parent-teacher conference. Honor Roll luncheon was yesterday for our students. I'd like to thank Mrs. Strange for taking on that honor roll piece, and then I order the honor roll lunch and meet with them and hand out certificates. So it was a nice luncheon yesterday for our honor roll students.
Is that new?
Not since I've been here.
Really?
We've always done it.
Maybe I forgot.
We have a luncheon after each trimester, and then at the end of the year, there's a special field trip that the honor roll kids go on.
Oh.
Just a couple other things. We had a successful after-school program for fall. I want to thank Mrs. Giganto for heading that up. She's done a nice job in replacing our previous after-school coordinator, and we're just getting ready to send out enrollment currently, yesterday and today, for the new winter session that'll start January the 9th.
Very good.
I think that's it for tonight.
Excellent. Now when is it, the next budget meeting for Pownal?
January 2nd, we said at 5 o'clock. We scheduled that at our last budget meeting.
January 2nd. Okay. That's,
And I emailed that to Mary Lee.
5 o'clock, it's here, though.
It's
right?
here,
yeah.
Cindy, what's that date? What day is it?
It's
January
the
2nd.
s-
January
So those of you who have
Is
a
it a
policy,
Tuesday?
The Monday.
the policy,
A Monday,
yeah,
a Tuesday.
is policy that day at 4:30? I have both.
is policy that day, Tammy?
Policies are usually Mondays, right? The first
Yeah.
Monday of the month?
So that's Monday.
Is it Monday?
The
So
second
That's a
is
holiday,
Monday.
though. That's a
Yeah,
holiday.
so it
Right,
can't.
it is a holiday.
Yeah,
We discussed that at the last
Yeah,
budget
right.
meeting.
so
that
there
was
won't be a
on.
policy, I can't imagine they'll do the policy on it. So you're gonna go ahead and meet on the
Right.
holiday?
Yes.
Sorry, it's a Monday.
It's a Monday.
Monday, I probably could. Tuesday's no way.
No, Monday's good. Monday's okay with you?
It may be. I'm
Okay.
pretty sure it is.
All right. Okay, so it's 5 o'clock here for the budget. All right. Our next board meeting is January 18th at 5:30 here. Probably at our January 2nd meeting for the budget, we'll probably have to set another.
Another budget meeting?
Budget meeting. Okay, that's all I have. I don't want to update you at this point on either the teachers or the paras. Probably by next meeting, I will have some information to share with you. Because again, like Jim said, we had to cancel one of them, and we haven't really discussed or traded off with the teachers what they were gonna offer us. So under FYI, we have a budget status report. We have the SVSU student enrollment for December, and policy 4001, harassment of employees, that was also enclosed. And that's just for FYI. So is there any other business to come before the board? Jim?
I'm good.
You're all set? All right, if not, I will, wait a minute, we have two. Oh, no,
That was from when you were gone
that,
on vacation.
in November, but we have to, we all
Yeah,
have to
if you
sign
could
those.
sign it, because you have your designated person sign it.
Right, thank you, Angie, for
You're
making that
welcome.
trip up there. It's always a pleasure to walk into central office.
I hope you mean that.
Yeah, they ask me, I come in early all the time, don't I?
Yes.
2 hours early. for
That's
every
right, the
meeting.
last one you were 2 hours.
2 hours early, yes, I was.
Told you it was 5 o'clock.
I know, I didn't listen though. All right, so if there's no other business to come before the board, I will entertain a motion to,
So moved.
Second.
okay.
Want a second, Jim?
I want to wish everyone here, including you, Mike, our CAT TV recorder, a very Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. And we look forward to seeing you next year. All
Same
right.
to all of you.
Thank you.